been overdue. Now, today is World Sexual Health Day, an opportunity to promote positive sexual health around the world. The ceremonies today also increased attention to sexual health among the youth. Now, to help us navigate these issues, we are privileged to host Patricia Catherine Najjita, who is the Communications and Advocacy Officer, SRHR Alliance Uganda. A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Now, there have been concerns on how sexuality education is delivered among the youth. What is the ideal situation?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that we are in a pandemic and things are not as we knew them. While previously this education was provided to the young people through school, through the different avenues that they had, youth-friendly corners, these are avenues that they do not have access to anymore. Schools are closed, that means the young people are home, but then most of them are home without guidance, which is the sad part, because parents are struggling to make ends meet amidst the pandemic. So on a day such as this, which is World Sexual Health Day, we leverage on the day, first of all, to demystify what sexual health information entails for the young people. Of course, to also take away the cultural taboos, to take away the religious taboos surrounding this information and acknowledge that it is essential information to the well-being of the young people of Uganda.
Now, the question usually on most people's minds is that when we talk about sexual education, at what age should it start?
So first of all, I need to say this openly on TV as well, that sexual health information or education is not sex education. The two are different. So the information that we talk about or celebrate on this day is to do with issues of body changes, is to do with issues of mental health. How do young people relate with each other? Where do they go when they have questions? Where does a girl go when she has started menstruating? Who does she talk to? Who does she ask? So the question of how early should this information be given, I would say as early as a child starts to ask questions, because even a 3-year-old child has information that is age appropriate for them. When they start to ask, let's say you have a boy child and they ask, mommy, why am I different from my sister? Why do we look different biologically? That is your chance as a mother or as a father to explain that it's because you're a boy and you're a girl and you're created different. So it's not that we want to teach young people about what people think is sex or what they should do. It's about teaching them about their bodies, teaching them about their changes, making them
understand what makes them different.
Exactly, imparting this information that is so powerful, because with this information then they can make better health choices, then they understand the consequences of the different things that they experience. And I believe it is very vital information for the development of every young person. The transition from childhood, adolescence, then to adulthood, all the changes you experience. It's a myriad of experiences and you need to navigate them guided.
Great. Now, we know that schools do play a very important role when it gets to sex education or information, like you had earlier mentioned. But schools have been closed for such a long time. What channels are being used, and what are the lessons that we can pick from the current trends? The current trends.
That's a very good question. So what are the avenues that are available? As the Sexual Reproductive Health and Rights Alliance, we have, I would say for the past 2 months, we have embarked on what we have called an interfaith dialogue. And we are looking to involve religious leaders in the journey towards sexual health education for our young people. So that is one avenue that we can leverage, because while churches are closed, schools are closed, religious leaders still have avenues. They go to funerals, they attend weddings. We can also leverage on political leaders, society leaders, cultural leaders. If school is gone, then what are the avenues that we have?
We need a holistic approach.
Exactly.
Different people need to come together.
Exactly. Parents can be involved, religious leaders, cultural leaders. If together we make this a collective effort, not just an effort of CSOs or the government, but if each of us says, I have a place in this, then definitely the benefit is for us all to a better citizenship and development.
Great. So this afternoon, help us understand the difference difference between online sexual education and sexual harassment. What is the difference, and who is responsible for protecting our young people?
Yeah, so of course the theme, first of all, the global theme for today on World Sexual Health Day is to do with digitization and of course the question of gatekeeping. So while parents say they are busy, while religious leaders say it's not their place to talk about sexual education and sexual health, the question then remains, who is gatekeeping this information for our young people? If we do not give them the information, then they will go searching, because young people will search and they have the avenues. They've got phones, they've got data. Just as you're thinking that your child is on Zoom studying in class, they're probably Googling something behind there about something they should not be knowing or doing. So I believe that while the internet can have good information, the internet also has bad information. And it's up to you as a parent or as a teacher or as a leader, religiously or culturally, to be the first person to give this child this information before they go searching and then they find the wrong information. Be the first person to tell your daughter that if they start experiencing the periods, then it is possible that they can get pregnant should they engage in sexual intercourse. Instead of them going to the internet and finding out, no, you will not, if probably you pop an aspirin or something, which is wrong information. So I believe that when we ask the question of the internet, digitization, we come back to us saying that we should take the role back to ourselves. It is our role to ensure that our young people have information. It is our role to ensure that they have the power to make the right decisions, and I think we need to embrace it, especially parents. Usually, previously, before the pandemic, parents had their children for how long? 3 months a year? 3-4 months a year? But now it's 2 years and you have your child. As a parent, think about it today. How much information have you imparted to your daughter or son? Have you taken time to sit down with them and talk to them and make them understand that your body is going through this and this is what it means for you?
And that it is okay.
And that it is okay to experience these things. It's okay to have questions. It's okay to seek answers. Everything is fine, but I believe that we should be the first people to harness, to give them the right information before we send them off to the internet and whatever it can give them.
Great. Thank you so much, Patricia Catherine Najjita. She is the Communications and Advocacy Officer, SRHR Alliance Uganda, joining us to speak to us on today, which is World Sexual Health Day. You're still watching NTV at 1. We'll take a short break and